The next transfer was at 4:48. I still had over 30 minutes left, but I couldn't afford to relax. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I snapped into action. I returned to my room once, I took my coat from my closet and quickly left. The sky was still dark. The clear midwinter sky had a countless number of stars scattered across it. The moon was hanging low in its phase in the southeast direction. It was missing more of its light now, drawing a mere semicircle as if torn in two. A half moon, the one that's there, yet the one that isn't. I pushed forward into the darkness, relying only on the light of the moon and the stars. I was standing by the front gate. On the left was a computer terminal with a lock controlled by the card reader. I took my ID card from the pocket and slid it through the slot. Or at least I tried to slide it. However, the card wouldn't go in. Looking closely, I saw that the card slot had frozen over. Damn it, how could it get stuck at a time like this? There hadn't been a snowfall at Arasaki Island over the past few hours. But what about Mount Cocoro? From the magazine article, I knew that Mount Cocoro was hit by a blizzard on the 15th. And it wasn't as Sphere had always been stuck at Arasaki Island. Sphere had been exposed to the snowstorm through the space-time transfer. It's likely that the snow had gone into the card reader then and had frozen over from the cold afterwards. From here at Arasaki Island, the weather was fine, but it didn't change the fact that the temperature was still low. On top of that, it was right before dawn, the coldest part of the day. I warmed my numb fingers with my breath. I turned my coat collar up, shrugged in my neck, and shuffled my feet. My smoke-like breath stayed adrift in the cold air. I angrily tried to insert the card again, tried over and over, hoping that the heat from the friction would melt the ice. I couldn't just give up here. Nothing would begin if I didn't get out of Sphere's circle. No matter what happened, I had to leave the gate before the next transfer. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to save everyone in the shelter cabin. Shit. Go in, I'm begging you. In one last effort, I shoved the card into the slot with all my might. It went in? Only the tip managed to slip in. There was no need for hesitation. Using all my body weight, I forced the card to slide in through. There we go. Don't scare me like that. The left and right doors of the gate opened with a thunderous roar. I tried to pull the card out and leave, but... Huh? It wouldn't move. The card was stuck, it wouldn't come out. If I didn't remove it, the gate would never close. Jeez. I could use my entire body weight to force it in, but not for calling it out. My fingertips were slippery from the numbing cold, so I couldn't even grip the card properly. And time was cruelly passing by. There's no choice, guess I'll have to leave it. No matter how hard I try, what won't come out, so there was no helping it. Just getting the gate open was good enough. I abandoned the ID card and stepped into the open outside world. The coastline appeared. Only the sound of the waves silently drifted through the air. I couldn't hear anything besides that. It was extremely quiet night. There were 10 minutes left until the next transfer. I had nothing to do but to focus and keep waiting. I need to eagerly wait for the time to come. The distance from here to Sphere's front gate wasn't very far. Close enough that it would only take a minute to get there at full speed. I could still clearly see the tall circular wall around the building. The moon's light reflected dimly off the wall's surface. It had dignified shine in the darkness. I couldn't imagine something that big being able to transfer. It looked so sturdy, almost impossible to move or vanish. I even felt like it would stubbornly refuse to move on no matter what. Is this transfer really going to happen? After reaching this point, uncertainty began to cross my mind. Even so, there was nothing I could do but wait. 7 minutes to go before the transfer. I thought I was keeping my cool, but you know what? The body doesn't lie about these things. As time passed, the intervals between my heartbeats became shorter. I couldn't feel the cold anymore. My palms were sweating even though I was only standing. I felt like I was choking from the pressure. If I messed this up, there would be no second chances. Cocoro, Yomogi, and Lin would be caught in an avalanche and die. My heart was beating like crazy. Along with the excitement, I felt a great feeling of exhilaration from the bottom of my chest. 5 minutes to go. The passage of time felt exceedingly slow. It was so frustrating I couldn't stand still. I walked aimlessly along the sandy beach as the waves lapped at its edges. Oop. A gust of wind blew past me. Before the wind finished blowing, Sphere's figure suddenly disappeared, and as though changing places with it, a brown plane ground plain without much snow appeared, with a thunderous roar, and without a brilliant flash of light. It happened silently without a sound, like turning a single page in a book. But it was that mystery spectacle that occurred right before my eyes I fell into a trance-like state. I stood dumbfounded without understanding what had happened. Only time steadily continued. The sound of the waves gradually returned to my ears. I glanced up at the night sky at the eternal light cast by the countless stars and the waning new moon. Nothing had changed. The world continued as usual around me. However, when I lowered my eyes, a strange scene was waiting for me. The brown earth was spread out as if drawn in a big circle. It wasn't an illusion. Even when I blinked and swayed my head, the scene wouldn't disappear. Was that a transfer? The situation finally sunk in, but even then my senses didn't clear. My ears were picking up a sound like light breathing nearby. Coming in between the crashing of the waves, they resounded as though burying the silence. That's right, what am I doing? I have to hurry. I started to walk as unsteadily as though being pulled. My awkward steps gradually began to adjust their pace. Eventually that turned into quick walking, then into a trot, finally into a sprint that cut through the darkness. Current time 5:02 a.m. I stepped into the circle. That zone was a barren wasteland of brown rock. Even though I say wasteland, the ground felt damp. I stopped running and touched the earth's surface. A damp sensation was transmitted to my finger. The bottom of my leather shoe slid over the bare rock, which was gently coated with moisture. Paying attention to the surface under my feet, I broke into a run. The place I was aiming for was the circle's core. However, what was there wasn't a shelter cabin made of wood, but a structure plastered in pure white. What does this mean? Where is this? After reaching it, I took a deep breath and immediately began to look around the structure. It was a cube, its length and height about 5 meters each. It looked like a large 6-sided dice. Of course, there wasn't anything like numbers on the alphabet carved into its sides. On 3 of the 4 sides, there was nothing like a window or anything sticking out. But there was a ladder attached to the last side. Made out of iron pipes, it continued up to the roof. I climbed it. A square roof. There wasn't anything like a fence set up around it. The only thing there was a round door painted in green. The small iron door was like a manhole cover hidden in the corner of the roof. There was a handle on it. I tried to lift it up, but it wouldn't budge. Looking closely, I saw a keyhole like a groove carved near the handle. Keyhole? I remembered right away about the key in my pocket, the one I hadn't known to use for. The key I found in my room on the 12th. It was placed next to the ID card, an extremely ordinary, simple key. No way. Despite my doubts, I had to check it right away. I took it out of my pocket and tried to fit it in. It went in. As if being inhaled, the key smoothly settled inside the hole. I tried turning it. With a pleasant metal sound, the lock released itself with no resistance. Are you serious? It unlocked. The round green door. I opened it without hesitation. The inside gleamed with white light. The inside was as bright as day. I squinted from the overwhelming light. While shielding my eyes, with one hand I took a look inside the room. There wasn't even a shadow and no one was around. There was a ladder leading down from the round entrance. I climbed down it. Apoptosis. By the way, remember that ending where Tsumi kills Satoru and then herself? At the end of that it said something about a white room? Maybe it means this area. With a great creaking of its hinges, the door closed. The insides were saturated in a bright white, but with light shone from every direction, no shadows existed inside the room. This scene, where all shade was lost, warped my sense of perspective. Where did the walls begin and end? What were the limits of the ceiling? How far did the floor extend? I couldn't understand it at all. I felt like I was floating completely isolated in the middle of white space. Only the sensation of my soles and my feet made sure that I was touching the floor. When I looked up, the door had vanished. The inside of the door was likely painted white as well. Lost in the light, I couldn't even find its outline. I didn't even know where the ladder was. The whole surface was a pure white world, where the notion of depth no longer existed. There was, however, a lone black object. A round object that pierced the center of the round space like a hole. Fumbling around, I made my way through the light and neared the hole. When I reached out a finger to touch it, I felt my hand touch the surface. The round black object wasn't really a hole, but a sphere. A little bigger than a soccer ball. It had absolutely no luster, so it just looked like a black hole sucking up all the surrounding light. I tried patting it with the palm of my hand. It was completely smooth to the touch, offering no resistance at all. It was held slightly below my line of vision. At first I thought it was floating, but then I realized it was just hanging down from the ceiling, suspended by a chain. What the heck is this? Incomprehensible. And moreover, where the hell was it? Where did the shelter cabin disappear to? Once again I fumbled forward into the light. Almost immediately I ran up against a wall. Judging from the feeling against the palm of my hand, I could tell that the surface of the wall was curved. Apparently the structure was in the shape of a dome. It was a cube from the outside, but it's a hemisphere inside. I walked along the wall for a while. My knee hit something. When I concentrated hard and looked around within the light, I was able to make a bed lying there. Every surface of the bed was painted white. It had a simplicity that reminded me of a hospital. A bed? Someone lived here. But I couldn't see a blanket or pillows, not even sheets on the mattress. Not lives, but lived? The bed, the stairs, the sphere, it seems there's nothing here aside from that. Present time, 5:21. Suddenly I heard a deep rumbling from outside, almost like an earthquake. The sound instantly brought me back to reality. That's right, I had to get to the shelter cabin. No sense in hanging around here forever. Groping for the ladder, I finally managed to grab hold of the rug. Wrong. As the sound of clanging iron resounded in white, I climbed up. When the ladder came to an end, I extended an arm towards the ceiling. This feeling of iron, it's the door. I tried pushing against it. It didn't move, it didn't budge a millimeter. Even when I tried to force it open with my shoulders, it didn't give in the slightest. I immediately started searching for the keyhole, but it was nowhere to be found. Don't tell me. I'm locked in? I tried ramming into it over and over, but the results were always the same. This is bad, very bad. Impatience assailed me. I had to get out of here right away, but there's nothing I can do. Finally I lost my grip and fell to the floor. There must be a way. Isn't there another way out? I desperately looked for other exits, but it was useless. The bed, the ladder, the sphere, there was nothing other than that. Meanwhile, time was mercilessly advancing. All of a sudden the door opened. Someone was climbing down the ladder. The one who came down. Oh, I knew it. You're still alive. Enomoto. Or maybe this is a paused version of him, maybe? Why? Why is Enomoto here? The guy, isn't he supposed to be dead? Once he noticed I was there, shock registered on Enomoto's face. We glared at each other, neither moving a muscle. The one who finally broke the silence was him. You. Who are you? Yeah, it's a past version of him. Eh? Didn't you hear me? I asked you, who are you? Answer me. I didn't understand. Shouldn't Enomoto know who I am? Why doesn't he recognize me? Answer me. Enomoto repeated. Reluctantly, I decided to answer. My name is Yukidoh Satoru. What? Enomoto panicked. No, it wasn't anything as simple as panic. It wasn't a horrified dismay as though the world was crumbling down around him. At his wits' end, staggering, he wrung a groan out of his convulsive throat. Ugh. What? What? You scum. You dare call yourself Yukidoh Satoru? Yeah. Is there anything wrong with that? His eyes pierced me. In those eyes, it had an intense hatred. You scum, if you say you're Yukidoh. Now I see. Saying this, Enomoto's face darkened. While tapping on his temples, he continued muttering. What a state of affairs. Scum like you could get in there. It's all ruined. The project is a failure. Even though damn it, so stupid I feel like throwing up. What are you saying? I can't understand you at all. But Enomoto continued without answering my question. Well, whatever. Though I say it failed, all this really means is that one possibility has collapsed. The number of possibilities of worlds in existence is infinite. It's simple. I can also say that in another world we didn't fail. As long as I just keep myself together, it won't end with a pathetic result like this. I'm different from low-life scum like you. Absolutely a result as stupid and worthless as you absolutely will not come to be. Enomoto spat that out, still glaring at me. What are you saying? It's the many worlds interpretation. Ooh! The many worlds interpretation. The meaning of those words. I knew it. No need to explain, right? You ought to know... No need to explain, right? You ought to know it already, scum. Yeah, but still. I have no intention of explaining such minor details. It's annoying, and besides, it's not worth wasting my breath to tell you scum like you anyway. All of a sudden, Enomoto closed his eyes. And David played with his hand as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. Those cryptic words came forth from him. He muttered as though pronouncing a curse on someone. The curse began to do its work. I will smite David, even if he avoided, out of my presence twice. Opening his eyes, Edamoto fixed me with another glare. Nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that in your world, the project was a failure. I'll have you take the responsibility for it, scum. Hold on a second. I don't understand the thing that's going on right now. Why are you here? Why are you alive? In the first place, where am I? I don't get it. What does this all mean? Please explain. You are a fool. What? Even though the memories of that guy were transplanted into you, you understand nothing even now. You're pathetic if I do say so myself. Memories transplanted? This abnormal memory of mine as I thought it was a memory transplant. Who is this? Who is that guy? Why did things turn out like this? Sorry, but that's the one question that I can't answer. To be more accurate, I don't want to answer. The very thought of that guy is annoying, you see. However, other than that, I'll answer everything. It's just too pitiful for you to go on knowing nothing like this. Be grateful, okay? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. This is what you said before, right, scum? Why are you here? Why are you alive? And in the first place, where am I? You asked those 3 questions. Whoops. You asked those 3 questions. Shall I answer them for you? Murder grinned from ear to ear. I couldn't help but feel a little scared. Before that, there's something I want to ask you. Aye. Now it's easier to understand if I say Enomoto. Enomoto, he died. I'm asking you, scum, in your past, Enomoto died. I don't really understand, but that's right. 3 days ago, you, Enomoto, died. I'm sure, no mistaking it. You definitely died back then. That's why... Is that so? No, it's okay, I got you all that. Saying that, Enomoto tapped his temples. So that possibility exists too, huh? I must be careful. Alright, now for the answers. Let's start with question number 1, why are you here? You do know about the space-time transfer, don't you? Yeah, I heard about it from you. I know, we had a certain goal, so we came here. That certain goal was to take the space-time transfer apparatus to its final level. Space-time transfer apparatus? Isn't that the supercomputer in your little room? You didn't even notice it, as I thought in addition to scum, you're not a fool. Ugh. Space-time transfer apparatus isn't in that room. It's nothing of the sort. Just a computer used for data acquisition. Space-time transfer apparatus is here. Huh? You saw it, right? It's that. Enomoto pointed it in the direction that Enomoto pointed. It's the black sphere. That's the space-time transfer apparatus. Correct. Shall I continue? On to question number 2, why are you alive? Question number 3, where am I? Those two converge into a single very simple solution. Being scum, I guess he thought the transfer occurs between the 2 points of Mount Akakura and Aosagi Island, correct? I nod. You hopeless idiot. It's your total lack of reasoning capacity that got you here. Didn't you notice the contradiction? Contradiction? A change in atmospheric pressure. Change in atmospheric pressure? That's right, you still don't get it? Let's suppose temporarily that the transfer is taking place between the 2 points of Mount Akakura and Aosagi Island. If that were the case, this sort of phenomenon would occur, with a sudden variation in atmospheric pressure. The shelter cabin in Mount Akakura is located 12 on 1,298 meters above the sea level. On the other hand, Sphere in Aosagi is 11 meters. Mount Akakura is surrounded by low air pressure, while Sphere, on the contrary, is high pressure. The transfer occurred between those 2 points, and the test subjects undergoing the transfer would experience buzzing or pain in the ears, due to the variation in atmospheric pressure. This should be enough for you to get the picture, I hope. Yeah, come to think of it. I remembered, in the video I saw in the little room when I observed the moment of the transfer, the windows of the room just violently shook as though struck by a gale. A sudden variation in atmospheric pressure. That's right, that's how it is. It definitely happened, and yet I didn't feel it. Why? Strange, isn't it? You didn't experience any change in pressure. The consciousness of Cocoro likely did feel it. From Mount Akira to Aosagi Island, she transferred instantaneously. But you, scum, you're different. Do you know why? Why? I don't. And I'll tell you. Suppose you didn't transfer directly from Aosagi Island to Mount Akira. I knew this. Okay, I thought it would be something new. In short, between Aosagi Island and Mount Akira, there was a relay point. A relay point for the purpose of accustoming the eardrums to the change in pressure. Relay point. Correct, in a word, here. Here is located underground, in a vast room dug for this very purpose, with fortunately a level of atmospheric pressure roughly equal to the sphere in Aosagi Island. And that's why your tiny brain couldn't sense a substantial change. I see now. So where is this place? I said it in a voice that was almost a groan. Every single word Enomoto fired at me felt like 1,000 needles pierced my skull. I was paralyzed, no longer able to doubt anything he said. I was accepting everything as it was. I called it a relay point, right? You don't get the meaning of that. Relay point. Point that relays. I placed their relays over in the middle and intermediary. The middle? Don't tell me. Can't be. Seems you finally get it. Just to be sure, let me give you a few additional details. Aosagi Island is about 5 kilometers west of Rebun Island. The sphere is located 45, 25, 37 north latitude and some of them. And the other shelter cabin of Mount Akira in South Hokkaido, in South Hokkaido Mountains of Aomori Prefecture, located, yeah. These two places both follow the line, east latitude. Finally here, this place is north latitude and least latitude. The midway point on the line of, yeah. Correct, is the wait, what? The midway point of the line is, yeah. They're all the same in east latitude. Okay. So yeah, it's a halfway point, literally. Correct, it is the exact middle point. These 3 points align. And north latitude, stuff like that. Like this, you scum repeated the transfers. I held my head, unable to endure anymore. This is what's happening. The point is, the point at north latitude and east latitude. Where in the world is this place? I know you said it's underground now, but fine, I'll tell you this. Maragi Village, Hiwa District, Hokkaido. The ruins of the abandoned Hotarabi mine. Hotarabi mine? Wait, didn't Utsami say something about being there? You can't mean where Utsami was hospitalized. Good answer, at least your memory seems to be intact. Murta suddenly grinned scornfully at me. There's still something I don't understand. The reason I'm alive? Yeah. You truly are a hopeless idiot. Mount Akira exists in January 2011. Aosagi Island exists in January 2012. This is probably July in 2011, isn't it? If that's the case, don't you think there must be some movement of space and time in order to move through the middle point between the two poles? You don't get it? This, you scum, is the past to you. And the Fuyukawa Cocoro is the future. Ah, I groaned. At last I understood. The remaining piece of the puzzle. Here and now it's July 18th, 2011. I am the me who is yet to be murdered. I hung my head, crestfallen. I was totally defeated. I hadn't noticed. I hadn't all this time. I fell to my knees with my hands planted on the ground to support me. The chill from the cold concrete flowed into me. My mind had been frozen. I was torn apart. The inside of my head was pure white. I didn't want to think anymore. I was disgusted with everything. Enough. I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back. But where? Where can I return to? Please tell me. Tell me. And then there was the sound of the door being opened. Following that, the sounds of someone descending the ladder. Who is it? Friend of Edmurto's? At length, he finally appeared. The person who came down, Uni? Wait, what? It is. It's the me without amnesia or whatever. And me who had my shape. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's the meaning of this? The confusion is my head. My head went past its limits. I could no longer comprehend what was what anymore. I couldn't understand. A world that transcended my comprehension. Ugh! Ugh! Stop it! Please don't, it's driving me insane. Stop! Panic overwhelmed me. It said that if you ever come face to face with yourself, you would fear them. And that was exactly what I felt right then. I feared everything I saw before me. What the hell? It was as though reason itself was being ripped apart. This can't be right, this can't be right. This ward isn't right. Hey, what is this? The me I saw right before me looked unsettled as caught beside me. Why am I here? What happened? Hey, tell me. The me before me asked Enomoto. Enomoto heaved a sigh and shrugged his shoulders. The project. It's a failure. Well, in his world, that is. The me in front brooded for a while, but soon... I see, so that's how it is. He nodded in agreement. So what do we do with him? We can't leave him be. Right, I was just thinking about that. After a while, the me before me proposed something. See, what do you think would happen if we killed the me from the future? Let's see. Not much at all, your body in the world dies. Really, that's all? Really, that's all? So that means there'd be no consequences in the present me or you, right? No, none. Well, I suppose it'd be very bad if, for example, you and I arrived at the same result. I see. But don't you feel like there's no point in worrying about that? It's nonsense. That's right. I have confidence in it. Confidence that there's no way our future will turn out as wretched as that one. So do I. Well then, will you let me take care of him? Are you serious? Yeah, of course. I want to experience it at least once. Killing myself, that is. The consciousness reached me through a haze. Killing myself? I'm gonna kill me? What a foolish thing I'm saying. As if I'd do that on purpose. I don't have any such impulses for self-injury. Alright, have it your way. Saying that, Enomoto took his sunglasses from his pocket. I don't really care. He is an I that I have nothing to do with. I have to thank you for that. Well then, I suppose I'll just do as I please. On saying that, me before me took something out of his pocket. A switchblade. It was a type of retractable knife. The me before me seized it in his hand. No. No, no, no. Are you serious? Dumbfounded, I stared at the me before me and his knife in his hand. I'd lost all sense of reality. I'm gonna kill me? Such a thing, there's no way. And at that moment... God damn it. What the hell? Knife was thrust into my chest. The blade sank into the base. The me before me was the one holding the knife. The other me pulled the knife back out and thrust it in again and again, making sure to put all the weight in his body. It hurt. I couldn't breathe. My chest was hot, burning, melting. The knife stuck in my chest, burned my body like the flames of hell. My vision distorted. I couldn't stand. Couldn't move. With my distorted vision, I could see my own face before me, full of twisted joy. The one bathing in the shower of my spurting blood, slowly turning red, was me. I screamed in agony, a death cry. Say, somewhere beyond me, impaired field of vision, Enomoto was asked of me who was stabbing me. How does it feel? Not bad. The me in front twisted his wrist, digging the knife further into me, and then he ripped it out. Fresh blood overflowed from my chest. My vision was dyed crimson. Not bad at all. It's like drinking the most delicious black coffee the world has to offer. Oh. Just a thought, nothing beats black coffee. Don't you agree? Yukidoh. Yukidoh? What did you just say? Indeed. There's no need for impurities. Enomoto. Enomoto? The me before me is Enomoto, and Enomoto is Yukidoh. What? The hell is going on? Has the world gone mad after all? Did it even exist to begin with? Where in the world? Where am I? And then my consciousness returned to nothingness. That was an ending! Are you kidding me? I mean, I sort of saw that coming, but holy crap. I understood that there should have been a past version of me, but I didn't know they'd made a relay point. I just expected that the past me was somehow connected to this. But Wow! Is that the proper ending though? Seriously, is that the ending? That's the ending, right? Isn't it? Is there any way to make my choice different, or is it just gonna unlock a new chapter? Holy shit. It's still going. I forgot how long these credits go for. Okay, there's the end of the credits. God damn, though. So is that a proper ending, or do I have to make a different choice? Because in Virtue's Last Reward of the Zero Escape games, there are points where you can get a proper ending, but then you can go back and make another choice and you get another ending. So I wonder if it's like that, or not. Unlocked album packages. Okay. Save data. Nope, I do have to go back. What different decision could I do, though? Interesting. I'm gonna go back and do the 3 exchange points and see if that changes anything. Ah, that's right. Muttering, I suddenly stopped. There was nothing tougher than waiting around doing this. That's why I took out the map from the basement. I spread out in the sand and looked. Now, where's the 3rd area? I decided to investigate that while I waited. My reasoning was so simple, even I found it humorous. The space-time swap wasn't the only happening at 2 points. A 3-point space transfer. I knew where 2 of their whereabouts were. Here. And here. Above was Aosagi Island, below was Mount Okura. Mount Okura's name had been properly marked on the map. Now then, where was the remaining point? I figured the 3 points were arranged in an equilibrium position. Aosagi Island and Mount Okura, I drew a line to connect the 2 points with fingertips. My fingers stopped around the middle of the map, of the line. There's a place called Mogi Village in the district of Hira, Hokkaido. There was a pickaxe-like cross marked on it just around the middle. It was right under that mark. A Tarabu mine. Tarabu. At that moment, something jumped up inside my head. The sound of the waves vanished. Time had stopped. I forgot to breathe. Streaks of light ran across the sky in groups. A crack ran through the frozen atmosphere. For a moment, the surrounding scenery shattered, and fragments of the moon became comets and rained down on the earth. The 3rd area really was Hattori Mine. If it really was, then Alpha's tri-density was... That's impossible. My fingers won't stop trembling. The fear of unknown nature began to rise up inside me. A feeling like I'd been touched by something evil, I panicked and folded up the map. I tried to find a way to deny the thoughts I had. However, the more I struggled the deeper I became fixed on it. The 3rd area really was at Haratarabi. Then all my doubts until now crumble and melt away. However, that was a solution that I should never pursue. You've got to be kidding me. I waved my head furiously to dispel the dark thought. Of course, nothing happened. Even when I did. I had realized the true identity of Alpha. The fact would never disappear. Okay, what's going on now? It's the same thing as last time? Yep. Right now, the inside of my head was being misled by the shadow of Alpha, but now wasn't the time to be tricked by things like that. At any rate, I had to think about the shelter cabin. Cocoro, Yomogi, Lin, and Uni. It would be fine if I concentrated on those 4 people. The round green door. I knelt down beside it and began to think. Now then, should I open the door? No, you shouldn't. Present time, 5:17. I am going to try opening it and see if I get the same ending as last time. If I do, then I'll go back and don't open it. I opened it. The inside gleamed with a white light. The inside was bright as day. Squinted from its overwhelming light. While shielding my eyes with one hand, I took a look inside the room. There wasn't even a shadow, no one was around. There was a ladder leaning down from the round entrance. I went down. Yep. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is gonna lead to the same one. But there's still 3%, so maybe by doing this I'll have different... Ah, understood instantly. Right, this is the past. The Animoto here is the Animoto of the past. But why would he need to come here? Or maybe this past Animoto just doesn't know me yet. Answer me, Animoto repeated. Reluctantly, I decided to answer. I didn't know it. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, I'm going to quick load back. I'm going to do the I didn't know one just for the sake of it. What is the many worlds interpretation? Sorry, but I have no intention of explaining it. It's annoying, and besides, it's not worth wasting my breath to tell scum like you anyway. Yeah, he's going to kill me. Anyway, I am going to go back, and don't open this time. I didn't open it. I have a bad feeling. Ambivalence. Obviously this building is in the shelter cabin. This is in the shelter cabin area, but if that's the case, then where am I? Third area. My consciousness, which had always stayed behind at Awasagi Island, had transferred from my body to Alpha's body and then to Cocoro's body back to my body again, repeating over and over again like that. In other words, this sequential order of the three areas being teleported to Awasagi Island is sphere area, third area, shelter cabin area, sphere area, third area, shelter cabin area. Basically, after sphere, it's the third area's turn. After the third area, the shelter cabin comes next, and so on. And until just a little while ago, the sphere area was an Awasagi Island. Due to the space-time transfer at 448, the place that appeared here is the third area. Quite a simple deduction. Anyway, how long will the third area remain here? 33 minutes. Which means that the next transfer is going to occur 33 minutes after 448, at 5:21. And the Mount Cocoro of 1 year ago will arrive. I reached into my pocket into my wristwatch. It's 5:18. 3 minutes until the next transfer. I had no time to open the door. I stood up in a hurry and rushed over to the ladder, practically flowed down and descended to the ground, 110 meters for the circumference. If I ran, my legs could possibly carry me and make it. I kicked off the ground and took off running. The slickness of the rocks underfoot made me stumble. It was so wet I was scared my feet would slip at any moment. I corrected my posture and propelled myself forward. Jumped into the deep shadow bank. At last, I crossed the boundary line of the circle, but I couldn't relax yet. I decided to get as far away from the circle as possible. I quickly stood up and began to make my way through the snow. Finally arrived at the coast. I stopped at the beach and turned around. Present time, 5:21 a.m. For an instant, the bare ground disappeared. What materialized next was slightly elevated, high-clad in immensely pure white snow. Like a slide of a projector being clicked into place, the landscape had undergone a sudden transformation. Without a sound, not even a flicker of light. Before I noticed, the elevated hill appeared as if nothing had happened at all. All I could hear was the wind howling. A gentle breeze was flowing from inside the circle, and out of it. I could see a cloud of fine water vapor, a great, billowing mist that welled up like a mushroom cloud. But it was soon swallowed into the darkness and erased. This was the second time I'd come face to face with the truth of the space-time transfer. It was a truly unbelievable spectacle, but I had no time to spare. I kicked the sand and started running, to the other side of the hill, to the shelter cabin. 4 people were inside. I had to take them out of the circle. With only that thought in mind. The end of world. When I reached the top of the hill, I was greeted by a familiar scene. The bowl-shaped hollow. Wait a minute. Ambivalence only had 3% on it, and yet it's already ended. That's weird. The middle of it stood the shelter cabin. Kicking up the steep snow, I ran down the gentle slope. I finally arrived in front of the cabin. I flung the door open. Threw myself inside. There was no one there. Cast-off shell. The room empty of its occupants were deeply ominous, still as death. I tried looking down at the underground storeroom. Of course, there was nobody there. Why? Why aren't they here? A cold breeze blew through the cabin. I have no idea what happened after that. I think several more space transfers occurred, but that didn't matter anymore. At the mercy of something greater than I, my lost soul just wandered aimlessly through an empty world. And where did the 4 people at the shelter cabin disappear to after that? From the newspaper dated July 4th, as I thought the headline 3 decomposed male and female corpses found in Mount Cocoro was still there, it meant that the 3 of them were caught in the avalanche. I wonder if I've just been dreaming this whole time. A nightmare without end. What? Now I'm in a white room. Pure white room. That a single stand on its wall is one, and then I see cherry blossoms, they floated down. Old man. It's the same one as last time. Just on name. It's time for your medicine. What? I don't understand. I am not understanding. What? I don't get it. Okay, I had this thought before, but the things that I last did in Cocoro's, do they have impact on what happens in Satoru's? If that's the case, then I need to go back here. And that means I need to make the right decisions that lead to the ending. And if that's the case, then Satoru will end up meeting them. Relief supplies. Which one was it? Alright, keep going. Turn back. There we go. And then Satoru should show up. Yeah, at this point. This takes forever. I'm gonna jump cut, and hopefully this works. Alright, the credits finally finished. God damn. That took a while. I really wish you could skip the credits. Within the cage. July 20th with a sunny, dazzling sunlight with all around me. I feel like I'm trapped in snow-covered mountains. Painfully cruel night, but there's one that is... The one has on a night in the dead of winter, but I really was involved in a plane crash, stranded for a week inside the shelter cabin. Small wind from the frostbite, which still remained, told the truth loud and clear. I also experienced personality exchanges. So I was also in Sphere. I think we've already read this. So in the cabin, I was also in Sphere. Yuni, Yomogi, and Meizumi-san. Tsutsumi, Hattori-chan. Satoru. We're all there. I have a newspaper article with me. It's the same as the one in the cabin. Read it one more time. Okay. I know the story is not finished yet. Save data. So hopefully that messes with Satoru's one.